Absolutely Talks, empowering talent for global careers. Brought to you by Absolutely French, presented by Armelle Perben.
So today it's Absolutely Talks number 4. So I'm really happy to be here. Hello, everyone. My name is Armelle Perben. I'm the founder of Absolutely French. And it's a pleasure to welcome you all today. Today we are going to talk with a Brazilian couple about from expats to human resources and the real insight on supporting dual careers abroad. And today, Daniel is the husband of Gabrielle, and Gabrielle is the expat. So really interesting insight from a man perspective on this issue. As you know, maybe, I'm sure, in your company, 80% of expatriation failures are due to the spouse. So because they don't find a job, they can't integrate, it's very difficult, they feel alone. So it's really a pain point for your companies, I know. And this is why I have founded Absolutely French 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago now. And just through customized French language courses, immersive cultural experiences, and a network of like-minded individuals, Absolutely French answers that expat spouses feel at home and connected here in France. What is our goal at Absolutely French? Helping companies like yours to attract and retain top talents with a service to develop dual career expat couples. And I'm really happy to present you today an amazing couple, Gabrielle and Daniel. They are from Rio in Brazil. They were both working in Brazil before coming. And France is their first expatriation. So Gabrielle is an expatriate from Air Liquide. And today they will share their fears, concerns, and hopes for the future and discuss what companies like yours can do to better support them on this journey. So now I would like each of you introduce your partner. And Gabrielle, could you start and introduce your husband, please?
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for the invitation. So this is my husband, Daniel. Daniel is a chemical engineering. He has been working in Brazil for more than 10 years around the projects and process of chemical factories overall. And he's 34 years old.
Almost 35.
And we have been together for more than 10 years also.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I also,
Daniel.
Gabrielle. She works today at Air Liquide, and she has more than 10 years at this company. But she also, as me, she's an engineer, but she has another degree as at biomedicine in Brazil also. She had worked for another multinational companies called Kimberly-Clark. So her career is much more specialized in the marketing area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her domain.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. So it was all the beginning of your career was in Brazil, correct?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, okay. And just one point, I forgot to tell you, all the people who are listening to us now, if you have any question, please feel free to ask us on the comment, because I've seen your comments just in front of me. Thank you. And just, Gabrielle, what motivates you to accept a position in France with Air Liquide?
So Air Liquide is a multinational company. It's present more than 80 countries. And moving on cultures, moving abroad is something that it's really common internally. It's part of our culture as a company. And after 10 years in Brazil, I moved around several different positions, several different areas, from healthcare to the hospital market until the industrial market. And at some point, after 10 years, I said that I was more teaching than I was learning. And I knew everybody. I knew all the challenges that we had in Brazil. So I said, okay, it doesn't make sense anymore to be here. I need to learn more. I need to experience different things, to learn new things, new challenges, to know more people, going out of the little box that we were. Although Brazil is huge, but after 10 years in the same place, you end up being know everything and everyone. So discussing with the company, and this is one of the greatest things, we are open to discuss and to see the next steps of the career. We said, okay, maybe an expatriation is a good path to go. And then we start to look for opportunities internally in Latin America, in US, in Europe, in Asia. And then finally we came up to, as a next step, to be in a global position in order to improve also the networking, the visibility around the company. And then it came this opportunity in Paris today, which I'm managing the marketing strategy for some product lines globally. And so I said to Danielle, now it's the time. Do we go? Should we go or not? Because if we don't go now, probably we will never go. And Danielle said, no, let's go. And then we came.
Okay, you didn't have any fear about moving or any?
A lot.
A lot, okay. So what were your fears? What was the most important fear you had?
Adaptation, I think, if we are going to be able to adapt culturally, language, have friends, because you start all over again.
Gabrielle, sorry. For the employer support, how did Air Liquide support you and Daniel's transition to France?
I think we can divide that into two parts.
Yes, maybe you can do your part and Daniel will...
So the first one is like the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
The visa, assurance maladie, titre séjour, those things that we never heard about it, and you have to do it. The practical things on finding a house, helping with the moving, getting internet, getting energy, also very practical daily things. But I think what was really special for me is one step beyond that they went, at least from my side, and then I let Daniel talk about his side, which was, they said in the beginning, you have to go through intercultural training. And I was like, no, I don't need that. I've been working with French people for 10 years.
I know.
I know how they work. And I was really putting that aside. And when Daniel arrived, it's mandatory. You have to go. And we went. And it was just amazing.
Yeah, of course.
It was, and I super underestimated the value of this kind of training, because we really learn the limits, the barriers, how to behave. What topics can you talk about it? What topics you cannot talk about it? What are the difference on greeting people? Because like in Brazil, we hug and we kiss everyone. And here it's different. Probably here.
Sorry. I was...
Sorry. And I think it was this.
Yes.
So we start to learn these very different things, not only the different things that we are used to in the daily life, but mainly the barriers and the limits and where not to cross it. And this was very, very important. And understanding also why the French behave they behave. Because then it starts to make sense and say, okay, that's why they do like this or they do like that. So it was really, really important.
And for me, it's very important in every country. Not it's every time you move, you need to have this, because it will open many doors for you with just a training. So it's so important.
It's a one-day training, and really, I was really saying, no, I don't need that. But it was really useful to understand even things that I have gone through, and I didn't know why. And I was like, did I cross a line here? And this training really helped. So you have all the bureaucracy things that we have to deal, and we are usually completely lost. But there is also this cultural, to make sure that you fit the cultural environment, which is quite important. And also the support for Daniel.
Exactly. In the same course we did, they gave some tips for the day life here. So we got these tips, and okay, it did happen a lot. So it was really, really useful, as Gabi said. It helped a lot.
Yeah, and I think for Daniel specific, we were very concerned about language because I work in a global position, so I mainly work in English.
Yes.
Don't have to speak French.
And did you learn the language before, or did you speak French before coming here?
We start studying 3 months before coming, but like it's not the same thing. We studied with a Brazilian teacher, but she also lived here in France. It helped a lot because we just got the base of the French. So, but since we start living here in France, so get in touch with the slangs, not the French by the book, as we say. So that is really, really different. But also, when I started at Absolute French, that helped me a lot. That's for sure.
Yeah, just to let you know, it's why Daniel and Gabrielle are here. It's because Daniel was with us in Absolutely French. So he learned French with us during 5 or 6
5 months.
5 months, yes.
5 months, and helped a lot because you need to learn, because you need to keep on touch with the French language the most part of your time.
Yeah.
It's different when you're in Brazil. You just have 1 hour, 2 hours class and start speaking Portuguese. So since you're here, you need to get more in touch with the language. It's good.
Yeah,
It's
and
good.
you need to learn quickly because you have very, very suddenly lots of people who speak to you only in French. So
Exactly.
so it's difficult. And for you, Gabrielle, did you learn French before? Did you learn French here?
I had a basis also. I used to learn some years in Brazil, but I never practiced. It was just because I was in a French company. So I said, okay, it makes sense. And then we really start to study 3 months before we come.
Okay.
Like we were doing classes every week.
So it's good. So it's good to start before.
Yes,
because,
I think it's good to have come with a basis.
And what was it? Air Liquide proposed to you before, or did you do it by yourself? Oh,
by ourselves.
Wow.
It was by
beginning
ourselves. We were entitled to the courses when we arrived here. So Daniel did Absolute French. I didn't do because my day life in the job is mainly English.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm not going to do more French than what I have to do in terms of the daily life. Daniel need to learn French to get a job.
Yeah.
I didn't. So we focus all the efforts on him.
Okay, yeah. But do you speak French now?
Un petit peu. No, I understand very well.
Okay.
Because I join meetings in French.
Okay.
So my listening is quite good. Even better than Daniel's. I think because I'm more very technical meetings, long meetings, like 4 hours meetings in French. But to speak the English for me is more natural because I have been learning English since I was 7. So it's been more than 30 years.
Yeah, so it's your language.
Yeah. So actually, at the end of the day, in the street, it's fine. I can manage my life. I can talk on the phone. I can solve my problems. But speak on the job, for me, it's much more complicated.
Of course.
Because I'm
more
like,
technical.
I have to think, to talk, and then I'm losing time. Let's change to English.
Yeah, I completely understand how it could be. Okay, thank you for this. Is there any, so you were speaking about the intercultural training that was really good. Is there something else that was really useful, except language and...
I think...
did you have a specific onboarding? Did you have something for your job when you arrive in France?
So yes, of course, there is an onboarding when you arrive to understand the challenges, even like where do you sit or how do you get a computer. You have to relearn everything. In your life.
It's like a new company, in fact.
Exactly, you have to relearn everything. But this is part of the culture of have these onboarding sessions, whichever position you go. So it doesn't make a difference just because I'm expat here. It's not a special treatment because we do that with everyone.
Okay.
But in terms of this expatriation itself, I think the key point is that, okay, there is a program. The program is quite set and formalized, but there is a lot of empathy behind. So if you face a personal issue, a personal adaptation issue, if you're not managing to get some kind of information, they help. And I think at the end of the day, that makes really the big difference. You are not completely alone all the time or just in the setup. You have a follow-up during the 2 years that we have been here. They have been following or having people externally that help us, even like daily things with the housing, things like this.
Yeah, but I think it's very specific to Air Liquide.
Okay.
They are really, really good with... they are human. So I think it's very specific to this company. So if you want to find a job, go to Air Liquide. Really good.
They're really empathic, and this makes the difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you, Gabrielle. Daniel, for your career path and expatriation concept. As a training spouse, because I don't like this word, but let's say a spouse, What were your main concerns regarding your career when, and how did you approach job searching in France?
Okay.
Did you start when you just arrived? Did you wait a little bit? How just all this? Did you look before coming here? Even?
No. Before coming here, no, I didn't look because I didn't know how does it will be. Because, as Gabi said, I need to learn French as much as possible, get better at this language. But in my mind, I have two paths. Okay, find a job as soon as possible, or if it's not working, let's study. Let's make a technical course or language course. So we have these two paths in my mind. So in the beginning, I was not looking, just focusing in the language, studying almost 10 to 50 hours per week.
Which is really good, in fact, to have one focus before starting to look for a job.
Because
to understand how it works here also.
Because since we are here, we thought that, okay, I need to have the base of the French language. So even if I want to work or study, I need to improve that. So, okay, I made the course at Absolute French. I think in the 4th month of study, I said, okay, let's update my CV. Let's see how is the market here in France. And that impressed me, this moment, because since I update my CV, I saw so many positions that fit with my career. I said, okay, I think I have opportunity here. Let's see how I'm going to be in the interviews. I made some interviews in the beginning, all in French. It was a little bit hard.
Okay, but it was not in English first. It was in French. Very good. Very good. So you are brave.
Yes, it was good. And I like it. Let's try. I need to try. And it was good to see where I need to improve. But I think the interviewers they had the empathy to, okay, let's change some words in English to understand. And luckily, I think the 5th month here in France, I found a job in the engineering society here. Was really, really good at the moment because, and luckily for sure, because I was working the area that I'm used to work in Brazil. Also I had in my mind, okay, I think that I need to get off my area. Maybe I need to
to try something else.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
have a downgrade. Okay, I was open-minded for this. But luckily was pretty the same as I did in Brazil.
Yeah, so it's and I think maybe it's better because you have so much to learn at the same time. In the same time, if you change your sector, and you have okay, you can be brave, but maybe not too much.
Yes.
And you were mentioning the French part. When I arrived, because I came 4 months early, I started to ask people how is to find a job in France, and everybody told me, you must know French. So that's why when he came, we said, okay, no, he's going to spend the time just focusing on the French side. And in fact, as you said, almost no interviewing in English. I think all of them in French at the end of the day.
Yeah, and even, do you speak French now in your job? Or?
Yes,
okay.
Most part of the day in French.
Yeah.
So
very
actually
good.
much better than me today. So if I have to settle something that it's really complicated, Danielle, you need to help me in the French part.
So she's the ear, I'm the lung. So.
Yeah, no, it's very good. Really, amazing, huh? What you did, really. Okay, integration and learning French. Could you, do you have specific stories about your integration in the society? What did you experience? Something bad, something good?
I think in the beginning it was a little bit strange because in our relationship, I'm used to be the extrovert person. So it's easy to make friends. So I like to talk with the people, to know about how was his day life, whatever. But in the beginning, it was a little bit hard because I felt, especially the Parisian, I will not say the French people, but especially the Parisian, was a little bit close to this conversation. I give an example. Used to be on Monday, you ask someone, how was your weekend? What did you do? When they asked me, I said, okay, on Friday I did this, on Saturday I did that, on Sunday that. I said, oh, nice. Then I returned the question, and you? I said, nothing special. I said, I thought it was something personal, but no, it repeated. I said, okay, I think it's something cultural. I need to understand better this. But here in Paris, especially, we have so many cultures, and in the company also the same thing. So we had I kept on touch with the other culture, like Moroccan people, like Tunisian people, and I saw that pretty the same as the Brazilians. So was nice because how was your weekend? Oh, was nice. And we had the same pains because they are leaving their countries to work here, and we share the same things, the same feelings. That was good. At this point, that was really, really good. And something that we didn't find in Brazil, so many cultural things. We have people, like their grandparents or their parents from another country, but they are not, how can I explain? They're not from the other countries, so they're not. You don't see the real difference as we have here in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's a Moroccan girl, and we talk, so we can share the pains, the feelings.
Yeah, so you were much closer with
the different
Moroccan
realities.
people or people than with French people. In fact, it was easier for you to communicate with people who felt the same thing as you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah,
our biggest friends came from absolute French.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it was Danielle's friend.
very good.
And,
I'm happy to
Yes.
know that. So the networking aspect is working very well in Absolutely French.
Exactly.
And it's easier because there is connections. You feel the same way.
Yeah, when you arrive in the same moment, we have the same
You
difficulties when you arrive. So of course your connection are very
Exactly.
easier. Yeah.
And I think being Brazilian also, it's something that we are very expensive. Like we talk to everyone and we are super open. Even me, I'm more introspective, but even
You need that.
I need that because that's how I relate to people. And here it's very different.
Yeah, so it's very intercultural differences that are very, very important, in fact. And it's what you said, huh?
Exactly.
And we forget that, but it's very, very important. Yeah. Okay, thank you for this testimony. It's very interesting. What methods or resources were most effective for you, Daniel? I would say just maybe maybe more about your career journey. What was what you think you lost time because you didn't know it before, or maybe you
I think the most important thing is listen. First, listen, because you need to understand some words. You need to understand the situation, how the people deal with it, and listening and learning with that helped me a lot. For example, in the beginning of my job here in France, when I send an email to a supply and I didn't receive an answer, I get, what's going on? What's happening? Because in Brazil, we used to have answers so fast. And I send an email to the supplier, say, what's going on? Is something wrong? And then my boss came to me and say, relax. So take it easy.
Time is different.
Yeah, it's different. So, okay, I need to learn, I need to understand how the people deals with these subjects. So I think the most important thing that I learned, the strategy that I got here, much more listening and looking for the others, how they act.
Yeah, and it's really true because we welcome expat spouses as you, and they often ask me why I don't have any answer from the recruiter. And just wait, just don't be so in a hurry. Yeah, you have time. They have time. So it just
exactly. So it's things to change my mind.
Yeah. Very, very good. Alors, which advice will you give to HR professionals? Do you have something that you could tell them how they could help expat spouses who arrive here just now?
I think the word is empathy. Has this sense of to understand that the expats, they really don't know. They're like the kid in the first day at school.
Yes.
They don't know anyone. They don't know what to do. So as you have this feeling of empathy, to help, to guide, give some tips.
Maybe just ask question. How are you? How do you
exactly.
feel? Yeah.
Is there something that I can help? So it helps. It helps.
Yeah.
Luckily, we got a good support from Air Liquide, and I think there is enough to complain. But I think the word is empathy.
Yeah. Okay. Because many big companies now have a service for expat spouse, but so they know it's an important point for the success of the expatriation, and to help the expat also be.
And as you said, I think the world is still getting used to the women being the expat and the men the follower. This is not something common. That it's most obvious the contrary.
Yeah.
And this is also different.
Yes, it's also different, exactly.
Yeah. So I think this is also something that it's very important also to keep happening. Because at the end of the day, it is the same challenges, independent in the gender that you are or the size of your family. You have the challenges are there for everyone. But having the support and having companies also that push these kinds of things, it shows that at least the world is changing also.
Yes. And it's very good, very, very good for everybody, for women especially, to develop their career. But the man is now following you. It's good. Okay. So you just for HR professionals. So you had the international cultural training, you had the French language, you have help for relocation and maybe for administrative points.
Bureaucracies, yes.
Yeah.
There are support for Daniel, for cultural immersions or other learnings, not only French.
Yeah.
There is a lot of support in the program, and I think it was essential because.
Do you think that a service could start before? Do you think it will be good to have a meeting with the spouse before
but
or
it
after?
happens.
Oh, it happens. Okay.
Yeah, they do have.
That's very good.
You have to start a little early, because when you arrive, it's like a hurricane.
Yeah.
especially for the person who is working, you have to work and you have to face the personal hurricane of your life on what's going on. So you have to start a little early. You have to have some conversations before. All my conversations, even if it was only me, regarding my papers or my responsibility, I was putting Daniel in the conversation, just for him to understand what's going on, because it's necessary. When you arrive here, 70% has to be at least accorded or done. Otherwise, it's too much to learn. It becomes crazy.
Yes. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I think we have now 35 minutes, so I think it would be good if we ask people if they have questions for you, Daniel or Gabrielle. Oh, yeah, I have. So sorry, I have one question. Alors, after this first expat experience, do you feel like a different person? And if so, why and what? And in what? Thank you.
Good question. But I think yes. I think we changed it, especially since we don't have our friends, since we don't have our parents here, so it's just us. So we need to be together all the time. We need to be partners all the time. So consider the personal life. I think it improved our partnership. For the professional life, also it was really, really impressive because totally different culture, totally different way of working. So in both sides, I think we improved.
Did you develop the specific soft skills? Do you think you developed something specific?
In my case, patience.
Yeah. Patience is a good point, yes. Adaptability, I think, because you spoke about adaptability.
I think at the end of the day, we end up developing a whole new side on discovering. You said it's like a baby discovering when it's coming up, and you feel that when you have more experience, it's quite different, at some point. And of course, it's really difficult. I won't say that life is easy because it's not.
No.
We have doubts. Are we doing the right thing? Did we took the right decision? Because it's normal. But I think the experience and the learning, the growing, it really makes it worth it. Because you feel different. You feel more powerful. I can face more challenges.
Yeah.
I can deal with missing home because we are very family-centric and attached. So
and then Brazil is far. You
Brazil
can't go
is
like
far,
this for the weekend. Not possible. So.
Not possible. And you have time difference, which is also a pain point. Like when it's the night and I'm going to bed, this is when my friends or his friends are starting to talk with us because they are coming out of work. And sometimes you are exhausted and you're like, oh, I really want to go to bed. But then you miss your friend and you really want to talk to them. So you have to wait until 1 p.m. Or you miss like celebration dates. And everybody's there together and you're far away from the video sometimes. So you really learn on how to manage your personal feelings. Because those feelings, they are much stronger now that you're far away. It's like everything, it's bigger. Like everything, it's impactful. So you have to manage to take, process.
So emotional intelligence.
Exactly.
You is growing, I think. No,
for sure.
No, exactly.
What advice would you give to a couple who are considering starting an expat experience for the first time?
Talk a lot between you. I think it is very important.
I think
consider the scenarios that you may face together.
Yes.
It's nice when everything goes well, but everything can go really bad also. And you have to be prepared.
I think the point is, okay, be clear at all the moments. Since you are unhappy, say, look, I have this point of unhappiness, so what can we do? So we are together here. It's not just because of you, not just because of me. So we are together. Let's discuss together. We decide together.
Good point. Communication.
Communication is key. And I can tell you that in the beginning, I was suffering a lot.
Ah, really?
Thinking that, oh my God, is he doing just because he wants to be with me? Or am I killing his career because he's abandoning everything to come with me?
Culpability, yes.
I think it was like 6 months in therapy learning that this is a decision that we took together. It's not all over me because I was like, if we fail, it's my fault.
And you don't fail.
And actually...
you learn something.
Actually, we learned that, we are together on that. So communication, transparency...
it's good to know that you have these fears and then you can... It's okay.
Yeah, it's normal.
It's okay to feel this. And
I think if we don't feel fear, it's something wrong.
Especially on this new adventure, because it's a big adventure. So.
And we knew that since the beginning that nothing will be eternal, like eternal happiness here. Everything will be like we see in the movies. Oh, Paris, so much glamour. So we knew that some bad things will happen, and we need to be prepared, and we need to be together to
support each other. But Paris is amazing.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
So do you think you get closer now together as a couple?
For sure.
Yeah. It was a good couple experience.
In fact. I think it was like the first one. It was the COVID pandemic because we were locked down, the two of us together. And here we are not locked down, but it's only me and him in a different life without the support this time, because I think in COVID at least we had our families and friends around us. So I think it's as a couple we grew a lot also in terms of supporting and.
Especially in the beginning here, we decided to do most part of the thing together because we need to understand the things together. But now she can have her life here, do her things alone. I can do my things alone. So I think it's almost the same that the day life that we have in Brazil.
Very good. Thank you for sharing. It was very important to have. You really share with transparency. So thank you for that. It was very interesting to have you, Gabrielle and Daniel. I'm very happy. And I'm sure it will help a lot of people about expatriation. So just to hand now, because it's time to leave you, for the next Absolutely Talks, it will be on 5 October, Friday, 5 October, 1 p.m. Also, live LinkedIn. We will try to be better than today. And the subject will be effective strategies for recruiting and onboarding senior executives with Anne-Laure Budin, the president of Matching You. And just to hand, we organize Absolutely Talented Career Fair the 10th of October. So please, if you are an expat spouse in Paris, register to meet recruiters. It's for you. And if you are a company looking for talents, we will have more than 100 international talents ready to work and already integrated in France. So it's a good opportunity for you to have more diversity in your company. Thank you so much for your time. One point. Don't forget, expat spouses are very talented. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely Talks. Empowering talent for global careers. Brought to you by Absolutely French,